Afternoon, Coach. Coach, you mentioned coming into this camp that you liked the way the team was playing right before the pause and the way they were coming together. You like the confidence you've seen since they regathered. That being said, prior to the pause, was there any individual aspect of the team's game that concerned you? And given the amount of extended practices you've now had, have you been able to address that?
Yeah, I thought we got a little bit away from our D zone structure and pressure and pucks, not letting people come up the ice that easily. So that's something that we certainly harped on and talked about. I really liked what we did today. I thought we took a big step forward today, creating more of a game-like mentality and more of an August 1st mentality. So, those are the things that we thought we needed to harp on when the season came to an abrupt halt.
Yeah, hi, David. I'm curious, you've been involved in a few 7-game playoff series, not with the Rangers, obviously, but this one's a 5-game series. From a coaching perspective, how does that change the way you do things if it's a 5-game series versus a 7-game series?
Well, I don't think too much, Dan. I think really, obviously, there's a little bit more urgency to all of this, but I think when you're in the playoffs, whether it be a 5-game series or a 7-game series, you better have heightened urgency for every game you play. And you never want to take anything for granted. So, I think our approach is going to be obviously putting ourselves to getting off to a good start. You don't have as much room for error, but I don't think the approach is much different.
Hey, Coach, you touched on feeling like things were a little more structured today, but what were maybe some of the things that stood out to you besides that, diving a little deeper into the scrimmage today?
Well, I just thought there was definitely more physicality to the scrimmage. I thought I liked our intentions. It really, little things like face-offs and hold-ups and line changes and things like that. I thought there was definitely more purpose and more of a game-like feel to what we're going to have to do on the first throughout the scrimmage. And I liked our pace. I thought our guys really approached it in the way we're going to have to approach it on the first. And it was just a good step forward for us.
Hey, Dave, was there anything that you needed to learn from today's scrimmage or anything that could have happened in today's scrimmage that might change your thinking in any way, position-wise? Or was it more just making, you have a plan and just making sure that the guys got, kind of the reps that they needed?
Yeah, it was more about the plan and execution and getting the reps we needed. And again, every day taking a closer step to doing what we're going to have to do on the 1st of August. And it's really that simple because, as we've alluded to, time is of the essence. We don't have a lot of it. We've got to take advantage of every practice physically and mentally, and I thought our guys did a good job of that today.
Yeah, Keandre's gotten a lot of time with the regulars and the normal NHL guys in the last 2 weeks. We're almost at the end here, and I know he's not going with you. So I just wanted, for a final time, to kind of assess what you've seen in the 2 weeks, and have you seen growth? I mean, do you think even in this short time that he's had the ability to get better?
For sure. I think he really has gotten more comfortable. You could see the nerves early on, but I think he's really kind of acclimated himself and played with an awful lot of confidence, kept things simple. You see the physical tools he has. I mean, he's a special physical specimen, and he's a guy that understands what he's capable of doing. And I love the fact that he didn't try to do too much. I thought he let the game come to him. He did a good job defending. Like I said yesterday, I loved the plays he was making in small errors, quick turnovers. He'd make the right play. Just a lot of good things from him over the last 2 weeks.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you about Trouba. When we talked to him last week, he said that he thinks he's the kind of person that takes a while to get comfortable and kind of warm up to a new environment. So I wanted to know, do you think that coming back from the pause, he seems more comfortable, he looks more comfortable on and off the ice?
100%. I mean, he's skating better. There's much more confidence in his game. I like his gap better. He's defending better. He's doing a lot of things better. And, we had a couple of good conversations over the break, touched on that about, maybe taking some time to be comfortable in a new environment. I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He wants to do well so badly. He wants to please his teammates. He wants to please his coaches. He wants to please the organization. And sometimes that can be a heavy burden. And, like I said, I think his best hockey's ahead of him for us.
Coach, I know you don't like to open the vault, but I'm not going to ask you to. But coming into camp, you probably had in your mind certain combinations, whether it be line combinations, D combinations, goalie, that you were looking at to be the team you start with. Has there been any moment where maybe you've given a second thought to maybe changing that mindset? Has anyone stood out that you said, I'm going to have to think long and hard, or are you pretty much where you were when you came into camp as far as your mindset?
I think it's human nature when somebody doesn't do what they were doing before the break and someone is doing something better that you automatically, instinctively say, well, geez, maybe we'll put this guy there. But I think when the dust settles, like I've said, we want to let people get a chance to get their feet under them and give them an opportunity to get back to where we were before the break. So nothing has gotten to the point where I thought, oh boy, we may need to have to change this. I think we're getting closer and closer to establishing that we're gonna be where we were before the break.
Dave, with your fourth line, you have Howden in the middle, and I know he's played both in the middle and on the wing. So I'm wondering, why is he in the middle? I mean, is there something you like better about him in the middle, or better about that line with him in the middle, as opposed to maybe being on the wing with, he was on the wing with Phil and Cockrell for a while. What's the thinking with Howden being centering the fourth line as opposed to being left wing on the third line?
Yeah, we really don't have. There's really not a lot of difference if we put Howden or McKegg in the middle. Something that we want to do. Howden's just real good on faceoffs. So, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, if he's struggling on draws, if we put McKegg in the middle, or if we feel it might be the right move. So, it's not something I'm married to, but it looks good so far.
Today was much more physical. I know you want to get closer to what it's going to look like in a real game, but when you see, guys hitting guys and certain important players getting hit, I mean, how do you feel about that? I saw Kako get taken at the boards at one point. I saw Keandre take out, Strom in the backboards at one point. I mean, are you holding your breath a little bit on that?
Yeah, but not. You do a little bit, but again, these guys are, you need to do it. You need to do it if you're going to have success. And I thought guys were really smart about being physical. A couple times, especially in the neutral zone. A couple plays jump out at me where Tony had a chance to step up and just bury Kako, and he kind of let up on him. And then Smitty stood up, and Mika could have got, hit pretty hard, and Smitty let up. So I thought our guys were smart in understanding when guys were vulnerable that they weren't going to play through to the point where they might get somebody hurt. So I thought our guys did a good job managing the situation.